What's going on, guys? Norm here. We are in the flavor lab, and what are we doing today? Big boy poke bowl. All right. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a little twist on the poke bowl. So a poke bowl essentially is just like fresh vegetables mixed with like raw tuna done with rice. So basically like sushi, but like a sushi bowl. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch that up a little bit. We're gonna add a little bit of bacon to it for our umami, like our saltiness and stuff like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a quick fry on our tuna, just because I'm using a cut of frozen tuna. It's not fresh from like a fishmonger or the market. So I just wanna get a little sear on the outside of that just to make sure that it's a little bit safer and that, you know, nobody's gonna get sick. So you can use your raw tuna if you have a really high grade tuna. I'm gonna do mine with the sear on. So what we're gonna need for this, we're gonna need bacon. So I have a few pieces of bacon actually chopped off from the stuff that I made a little while back that I froze. This is going to be our salty component. We're gonna need hot sauce. I'm using the Maritime Madness red clay medium. It is nice and spicy. If you don't have this, you can easily use sriracha, which is readily available at all the stores. We're gonna do a rice vinegar. We need rice. Sorry, I have this in a bowl. I'm not gonna lift that giant bag. So we need about 2 cups of rice. We need shredded carrots, cucumber, avocado, sesame seeds, sugar, mayonnaise, a little bit of cilantro. Now what I do for my cilantro, you can see that little tiny dot in there. I buy the frozen cubes I got it at Sobeys, and then you can just pop them out and use that, so you don't have to have a whole bush of cilantro because you're probably not going to use all of it. Little tiny bit of lime juice, and what we're going to use is we're going to use the Big Spruce Tim's IPA. Little secret here, so I'll fill you guys in on that later. So the first thing that we're going to do is get our rice going. Now what I did is I already measured out 2 cups of water and 2 cups of rice. So this is just plain long grain rice. You can get like the sushi rice if you want. I'm using this because I have it on hand, and well, I'm just gonna make this in the Instant Pot. So the reason I'm using the Instant Pot is because I find rice messes up all the time, and so I'm gonna get this going. All right, guys, now the one thing I forgot to mention is we are gonna need a little bit of pickled ginger if it's readily available. If not, this is not a crucial. I'm just using this for a garnish. And part of the sauce that we're doing, we need soy sauce. Forgot to mention those things, so use that. All right, so while the rice is cooking, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get started on our bacon. So I'm gonna chop these up into cubes because I want nice little chunks. They're gonna be easy to pick up with chopsticks if you wanna use chopsticks. You don't have to. Just want them nice, like little cubes that are about 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. That's gonna make it nice and easy to eat if you wanna go that route. So I'm just gonna chop this up. This isn't a ton of bacon. We're looking at like, here's what we got going on for the bacon. So that's perfect. I'm gonna get that cooking. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna start putting together all the vegetables and stuff. All right, guys, so while that bacon is cooking, what we're gonna do is we are going to make our spicy mayonnaise. So all our spicy mayonnaise is gonna be is, I'm gonna use this hot sauce that I mentioned earlier, the Maritime Madness red clay medium hot sauce, and just regular mayo. So I'm gonna do about half and half of this. I have a little tiny squirt bottle, so which is nice for, it's like nice and aesthetically pleasing at the end to do like your drizzle. You don't have to have it. I mean, you can just fork it on if you want. Like it doesn't really matter. I just like to have this for the presentation of it. Actually, I'm gonna go hot sauce first. We're probably gonna use about 1/4 cup of each. This is gonna be enough for probably a couple of servings. So here we have the hot sauce in our new squirt bottle. And then we're gonna go at it with the mayonnaise. So again, about half and half. And we're just making our spicy mayonnaise to finish this with. So that's all you need. Put the 2 of them together. Give that a shake. There, our spicy mayonnaise is done. So that's all we're gonna use to top this with. So that's it. Let that sit until everything else is done. We're gonna come back and we're gonna put together our vegetables to go over top. All right, guys, we're back. So let's get to work on our vegetables. So like I said earlier, I have a little tiny bit of cilantro from the cilantro cube that was frozen in our bowl. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of our shredded carrots, probably about half cup or so, a little tiny bit more, a handful of them anyways. Get that into the bowl. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to get our cucumber. So I'm not gonna seed this or anything. I am, however, going to peel it. What I'm gonna do to peel this guy is I'm gonna pull back the wrapper on it to about here, and then just peel that to the end, then cut it. So that way it just makes it easier for me to peel. Once that's peeled, then we're gonna cut this. We're looking at probably about 3-4 inches here. Not a whole lot. We don't want to do too much because this is going to be a big meal. It's going to be too much to eat if you mop off any more than that. So once that's done, I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to take those halves. I'm going to cut those in half. So we quartered that piece that we just did. Then I'm doing the same thing that we did with the bacon. We're cutting off about 1 centimeter. All right, so now that we got that cucumber all cubed up, toss that in our bowl. Then we're gonna go to work on the avocado. Now, avocados are pretty simple. You just put your knife in and then work your way around. And you're gonna get it halved like that. So then you just have to take that seed out, put your knife in, squeeze that seed out, toss it. Done. Easy peasy. We like that. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our paring knife and we are going to slice that inside like that and then cut across, because what we want is we want cubes, and then this way this is going to be cubed when we scoop it out. So you have something like that, and then all we do is we scoop that into our bowl. See, that's coming out in cubes like that. Easy peasy. We like easy here. So I'm going to do this other half, then we're going to finish up. Alright guys, so now that our avocado is all cubed up, we are just going to add a little tiny drop of lime juice. Then we're going to give this a mix. Get that cilantro and lime juice all over everything in here. Alright, that looks nice. So, everything here is done. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make, like, you know how when you get sushi, it has like sticky rice? So we're going to do our own little kind of sauce that kind of does like the sticky rice type of texture. So all that we're going to do is super simple. We're going to take our rice vinegar. We are going to go 2 tablespoons of that. We want 1 tablespoon of our soy sauce to start. And then we want 1 tablespoon of our sugar. We're going to give that a little mix here. That's going to be good. We're going to pop that in the microwave for a couple seconds here in a minute. And then that's going to be all combined together. Because what that does, putting it in the microwave, is that's actually going to liquefy. So basically turn this into almost like a simple syrup. So that's why we're going to do that. If you want this a little tiny bit hotter, you can throw in a little bit of that hot sauce if you want. But that's going to be dope like that. Alright guys, so I just took my bacon off. And I have this pack of frozen tuna steak that I'm going to pop on. So, like I said, I'm just going to take this and sear it real quick in that bacon fat. Don't drain that bacon fat because that's going to give us our flavor. It's going to give us a little bit of salt on this, and that's going to help us sear this piece of tuna. So, I'm going to take this, get this frying in that bacon fat. I'm going to do it about 1 minute on each side. Then once that's done, I'm gonna take that off, let it cool a little tiny bit. We're gonna chop that up. We're gonna get that in with our vegetables. Give that about 1 minute aside. Make sure that's cooked all the outside, just to make sure we kill off any bacteria or anything like that. Then we're gonna be back in a minute. All right, guys, while the tuna's finishing up, what I'm gonna do is I got that bacon here cooling out on some paper towel. I'm gonna get that into our mixture. Deal with that right now. Get that mixed in. Then all we gotta do is get that tuna off in another minute or so. Then we're gonna chop that up. We're gonna do the same thing. This is gonna top our bowl. Then we're gonna finish it off with the spicy mayonnaise and a little tiny bit of sesame seeds. We're laughing, boys. Tuna's done. I'm gonna let that sit for a couple seconds. What I'm gonna do right now, take that little mixture that we made, the vinegar, the sugar, and the soy sauce. I'm gonna get that into the microwave for about a minute. Let that go for about a minute, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut that nice tuna steak. Woo! Bitch, you can't have tuna steak. You're crazy. So here's what that looks like now, guys. So you can see we seared the outside, but we left the inside mainly raw. That way we get rid of any of the bacteria that might have been on the outside of this, but we don't, we don't overcook it. Nothing wrong with that. So we're gonna get this mixture into the bowl. That we have all of our vegetables in. All our stuff's done. Get that mixed up. All right, guys. So that this is all mixed up. The only thing we're waiting on now is the rice. We got about 7 minutes left in the Instant Pot, the pressure cooker. Then we'll be back. We're gonna put this together. Don't worry, we don't really want this like piping hot because we kind of want this to mimic sushi. So we're gonna let this cool off and stuff, and this is gonna be just deadly. All right, guys. So the rice just finished. So I'm gonna go release the pressure on the Instant Pot. If you're doing this, just be careful. Stay away from it. Don't put your face over it because that'll steam you. And we know what happens with like the whole Skeletor thing with the melted fish. You know, like, we don't want to do that. So I'm gonna go take care of that. You can hear that letting off the steam, eh? Wow. So we're gonna let that steam come out. We're gonna come back. That's gonna take a minute. Now that'll happen on its own if you leave it. But I'm hungry now. I don't want to wait, 10 minutes or whatever it is for that thing to pop. So we're just going to let that pressure reduce. Then we're going to get into our bowl. All right, guys. Rice is finished. So what we're going to do is we are going to top that with our mixture that we made to kind of give it like that sushi-esque flavor. Just pour that in. Make sure you evenly coat everything. Then just give that a mix with your fork. Do that real quick, easy peasy. Now that we've got our sauce mixed into this rice, we're gonna take out about 2 cups of cooked rice for our base. Then we're gonna add in our vegetables and our proteins. Next, we're gonna drizzle this with the spicy mayonnaise that we made. Hit it with a little tiny bit of sesame seeds for a garnish. And then we're just going to top it with a couple pieces of our pickled ginger. There you go, guys. That is our big boy poke bowl with bacon and tuna. She's gonna be deadly. All right, boys. Now, what I did not tell you is what we were doing with the Big Spruce Tim's IPA. Surprise, surprise, boys. Just enjoy it. Now, boys, that's good eat. The bacon, the tuna, and that spicy mayo together with that nice sauce that we did for the rice. Wow, that's deadly. this has been the Big Boy Poke Bowl. Boss, try out this recipe. You know what I say, don't be going home hungry. Get after it, try this out, let me know what you think. We'll see you next time.